Welcome to Go Edmonton. I'm your host, Bianca Jade, and today we're celebrating a very special day in our community. We're celebrating International Women's Day, and we're doing that here with Skirts of Fire. It's an art festival dedicated to incredibly talented women right here in our community. But before we get to that, Jen McDonald introduces us to a woman that's dedicated her life to inspiring others. We're here in the main stage area for Skirts of Fire. We're going to be learning more about that coming up in the show. But right now, Leslie McDonald has been bringing our community women of vision for over 20 years. Recently, she sat down with Premier Rachel Notley. So we're now joined by the festival director. We're joined by Annette. Now, Skirts of Fire, what an incredible idea. Yeah. How did you come up with this idea for this festival?
Well, you know, it started, I'm a theater person, I'm an actor, that's what I do, and there's a great underrepresentation of women in theater across the country. The statistics are kind of staggering, and, you know, there was a group of us who got together and said, we need to change this, you know, it's, we weren't angry, we just went, let's just change those statistics. How do you do that? Well, you produce a festival where women are featured, and so that was the original impetus, and so theater was the original impetus. But then it grew into a multidisciplinary thing. So we've got dance, visual art, film, comedy, cabaret. We've got yoga and belly dancing, you name it. And so it's really, really grown.
Oh, we're in a very special space right now. Now, this is one of your main stage shows. What show is this?
Yeah, it's called Gideon's Knot. And it opened last night, actually, to a full house. It was great. And it's a pretty powerful, gripping play. And, you know, it's kind of, I call it a parent-teacher interview from hell, because you know, it's a mother and teacher coming together and under really, really difficult circumstances, discussing the mother's son, who was suspended the week before for something that was quite a shocking act, and what has happened after the fact. And I won't give it away, but it's pretty horrific.
You know, that's part of the festival, is that you have such a large gamut, like you mentioned before. You have something that's extremely moving, like a play like this. You could even come down and take in some of the incredible actresses in our community. For you, as someone that was a part of this original start of the festival and seeing how it's grown, as we celebrate International Women's Day, why is it so important for you to now see that so many roles are now being given to women in our community?
Oh, it's just fantastic. And, you know, I had an interview this morning with Colleen Brown, who's with the Secretaries. They're playing at our festival next weekend on Friday night. And, you know, she was talking about how wonderful it is to be in a festival where women are featured. Often, you know, she's working gigs where they're kind of in the background, or they're not, you know, her world is very male dominated as well. So it's quite refreshing, and it's really exciting to have so many artists, and it's just going to be amazing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. If you want to learn more about this incredible festival, we're going to learn about the skirts behind the Skirts of the Fire coming up right after the break. Welcome back to Go Edmonton. I'm your host, Bianca Jade. Today we're talking about Skirts of Fire, an incredible festival that's happening right here in our community. And we're talking about it because we're celebrating International Women's Day today here on Go. Throughout the show, we're going to be speaking to incredible artists. We're going to be learning more about these Skirts of Fire behind me and how many different tools and items they used to make these incredible pieces of art. But first, Jordan Hurtner teaches us about something you might not be aware of that's still happening right here in our community. All the skirts here are, of course, lamps as well, because we're at the Skirts of Fire. It's a women festival that happens here in Edmonton from March 10th to 13th. It celebrates women all throughout the arts, from singers to stage performers to even skirt designers. We're going to be meeting some of those coming up in the show, but right now we go off with Tim Dancy to the U of A to meet a volleyball coach that's continuing to inspire youth year after year. We've been speaking all about the Skirts of Fire, and now we're with one of the designers of the skirts, actually the winner of the competition this year. Now, what was your skirt made out of?
What's it made out of? Principally aluminum. The skirt, all of this weaving is made from reprocessed, reimagined aluminum cans, drinking cans. They happen to be cider cans. And these are window blinds that I had pulled out of a dumpster a couple of years ago. I like aluminum, its properties, and there was something attractive to me that I knew one day I would use. And this is a piece of discarded diamond cut aluminum. I had our carpenter at the school help me. There's a process, I now forget what it's called, of heating this kind of metal so that you can actually bend it into shape. What else do we
It's
have?
just phenomenal when
This
you
too is
see
part of the aluminum cans.
when you see all the different colors and you see it coming together like this. Now, was this very close to your original vision?
It is actually. I think here's the drawing. So, yeah.
It's just fantastic and so beautiful. And congratulations. So you're the Skirts of Amore winner for the festival. Now, when you get to see it come to life like this as a designer and you're going to be seeing people coming in with the Skirts of Fire, how special is that?
It was extraordinary because although I conceived of this idea some time ago, it was a number of weeks into the project when I had to decide who the model would be. And when I landed on Laurie Green, who was a graduate from the stage management program at the university last year, I knew she'd be perfect for it because she's an Amazonian kind of woman, young woman. And when she inhabited this, it just all came together in a kind of magical way. So she brought a lot to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it's just beautiful. I'll let you spin it around as we head off to break. And there'll be more from Skirts of Fire coming up after the break. Welcome back to Go Edmonton. I'm your host, Bianca Jade, and today we're at Skirts of Fire as we celebrate International Women's Day. This is a festival that's happening right here in our community to honor women in the arts community. But first, we meet a woman who's an incredible entrepreneur. She took a small little potato and made an incredible business. So one of the skirts here are made from something that might blow your mind. They're actually made from dog hair. So I'm here with the designer. So how did you come up with this incredible idea? This is what it originally started like, right?
Yes, I actually just by chance met a woman, Tina, and she had a beautiful bearded collie. The name of my studio is Art Dog Studio, and so she approached me and said, "Have you ever felted dog hair?" And I thought, well, no, but maybe I should try. So she gave me this beautiful hair from her dog, Opus, and I tried felting it. This is a pre-felt, and it worked out beautifully. And then again, by coincidence, I bumped into Annette at a social, and she was telling me about the Skirts of Fire design competition. And so the two just came together, and I made a skirt out of dog hair. This is the dog hair here, as well with upcycled silks, etc.
One of the things I thought was so interesting when we were talking before was how much that shrinks down.
Yes.
Now I have, I think this was your original size here. So this is how big it originally was and then it got to that size?
Yes, with felting, there is a shrinkage of about 50%. So you have to start with a huge resist, and you lay out the hair on this piece of plastic. You wet it, you roll it, and use like friction to shrink it. I shrink it by hand, and it actually shrunk down to this size, which is just a perfect fit for Tina and the model. But it's unbelievable, really.
It's just stunning. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to learn more about Skirts of Fire, the information's on your screen, and here's some more events that you won't want to miss in our community. Skirts of Fire is happening here on the Avenue from March 10th to 13th, and these are some of the incredible skirts that you'll be able to take in. And don't forget to come down here and celebrate International Women's Day. Thanks for watching.